Hello, thank you for joining me on I Am Maggie. So what we are doing here is a nice slow crawl through the book Excuses Be Gone by Dr. Wayne Dyer. This book is very helpful in how to change lifelong self-defeating thinking habits. We are currently in part 1, chapter 2. Chapter 2 is your two minds. Right now, hit like and subscribe, and I look forward to hearing your positive comments. Let me know how this reading may be helping you. I look forward to hearing from you. So we're going to pick up where we left off, the habitual subconscious mind, okay? So I have downloaded a pattern since childhood, and it concerns my stroke and my daily swim. Some people have observed me making my way through the ocean and have said that I swim as though I've had a stroke. I never paid much attention to what others said until I discovered that the way I kicked my feet using only my right leg while my left leg stayed motionless was putting undue pressure on my back and throwing me out of alignment as I practiced yoga and simply got older. So I'm just going to make a little comment here. I coached a lot of sports. One of them was gymnastics. And one thing that was really powerful in sports when I was young was when video cameras began coming into the coaching arena. So a lot of times a coach could tell you, point your toes or tighten up your stomach or whatever it is. And they would tell you and tell you and tell you. And a lot of times a gymnast would have a hard time like orientating that into her body or his body. And then what happened once the videos came, our coaches would replay the video and show us. Now I know a lot of NBA players, they watch a lot of videos on their opponents to watch their strengths and weaknesses so they can train. I know boxers do it too. I think all sports do it. But I'm just saying, like with us, it's the same thing. Sometimes until somebody points something out and helps us to see the balance in our life, we may not actually be able to see it. So it's a beautiful thing to have a trusted circle, a learning mindset, or you know, help, not criticism so to speak, but feedback that helps you to improve. So let's keep going. Okay. It was putting undue pressure on my back and throwing me out of alignment as I practiced yoga and simply got older. When I was advised to change the way I swam by kicking both legs simultaneously, which can feel weird at first, my first reaction was to think, I can't change my swimming style. I've been doing it this way for almost 60 years. I even swam competitively with this Dyer stroke. Comedy there, Dyer stroke. This is something I've downloaded into me from thousands of hours of swimming and is a subconscious habit. So ask yourself what subconscious habits that you might have that you want to change, reprogram while we are doing this book, or just in general. Yet after putting to the test the ideas I'm writing about in this book, I was able to rather easily adopt a brand new swimming stroke, even though I was 65 years of age at the time. So we are never too old to change something, ever. In fact, many of the greatest achievements come as we age and as we gain the wisdom and as we're able to incorporate it in a more readily available way because we've kind of been around the block, we've seen, and we're more, you know, open to learning sometimes. Just like my being able to rather quickly change a 60-year-old habit, you can access the program you're operating with by examining your thoughts. So guys, what I encourage you to get like a notebook, and when you start to notice like thoughts come up, jot them down to see what the habitual mind or what the conscious mind is saying to you. Okay, so going back, okay. Your habitual mind takes over when you choose to ignore your conscious beliefs and you just continue to act in ways you've been programmed too. So I've talked about this before, being very gentle with anyone going through medical issues, trauma, abuse, coming out of toxic situations, or you've kind of been trained into a type of program that puts you into a submissive, slave mind. We want to reprogram that so you can walk confidently in the goal of your dreams. And that's going to take, if you do the work will work you, and it'll bring you up to a new life track. So here we go. But you can shift to your creative mind and explore your options. And that's what we will be doing. We are shifting, guys. Make a choice right now. I am shifting to my creative mind, and I am going to explore my options for my best life. You don't have to buy the old argument that a part of you is inaccessible, unreachable, or so buried, so deeply inside that you're undoing early programming is impossible. So you don't have to have this idea it's impossible. Nothing's impossible. The Bible tells us nothing is impossible through Christ, okay? So we all know he is the doorway to the Father, which is within us. You never successfully reprogram your computer or your mind by telling it to stop spewing out the same garbage. You are stuck until you change the new operating system or download some new files. But first, you have to know that this is an option. So we know now, right? Nobody can, if you don't know, now you know. You can't say at this point that you don't know that what is not serving you can be reprogrammed. It can be reprogrammed. We choose to reprogram it. We will program it. We will figure out what it is, and then we are going to then build new healthy habits. Think of the many ways in which you identify yourself, particularly in the gray area of deeply entrenched thoughts. Identify programs in your habitual mind that are so outdated that they're hampering your system. Those attitudes, beliefs, thoughts that don't serve you are excuses and ultimately destined to be sent to the trash bin. So we are going to be sending those attitudes, beliefs, and thoughts that don't serve us, that are essentially excuses, y'all. We're going to be sending them to the trash bin, and we're going to be replacing them with new programs. Mark Twain had this wonderful observation about how we can change old unwanted ways of thinking and behaving. Mark Twain, love him. Habit is habit, and not to be flung out the window by any man, but coaxed downstairs a step at a time. Beautiful quote. My objective is to help you coax down the stairs those ways of thinking that keep you from living your life at the optimum level. And when we are in optimum level, we will really be able to give our purposes, our service to the whole, live in our dreams and our goals, our full out. Like, you know, this isn't about just like serving yourself. It's about, let me heal myself. Let me remove these limiting excuses, beliefs, attitudes, behaviors, etc. so I can live full out and give the gift that God gave me to give. So my objective is to help you coax down the stairs those ways of thinking that keep you from living at your optimal level. Should this seem daunting, know that it doesn't have to be a lengthy, winding staircase that takes years to traverse. Again, that's another excuse, right? Then we block ourselves. And, you know, a lot of times these thoughts actually are trying to protect us, but we're going to move through them because we are awake and aware, and we know that we are here to live optimally so we can help with what is happening on the earth and in the heavens. Should this seem, okay, or to use a computer metaphor, your internal system is as capable of change as contemporary operating systems are. Freedom from long-standing habits, whether they originated genetically or mimically, so like memes, is attainable with the excuses be gone paradigm presented in part 3. So we're getting this like foreshadowing that part 3 we're going to be taking a lot of action. This is exciting. Reaching into the part of your mind that works as automatic pilot as a result of early programming and conditioning isn't nearly as troublesome as allowing it to continue to run your life. right? Because if those programs aren't serving you, then they're leaving you in low and less prosperous, less joyful life tracks. It's actually quite uncomplicated and won't take a great deal of time to shift from old habits to new choices. Do you have that? Tell yourself it will be easy for me to switch from old habits to new choices and a new life. You are part of the same intelligence that creates the world. Think about that. You are part of the same intelligence that creates the world. The same stardust that you see out there when you look at the moon and the stars. We are composed of this too. So in fact, your mind is the intelligence. Knowing this, how could you consider a part of you to be unreachable or unprogrammable? No part of you is unreachable, no matter how automatic or habitual it may have become. Did you? Please hear this. Give yourself permission to change. No part of you is unreachable, no matter how automatic or habitual it may have become. Certain aspects of your life may seem to be governed by a force that you are unaware of, and you can feel that there is no possibility of choice and that you're imprisoned by your own excuse inventory. I can't really help it. It's just my nature. I've always been this way. Talk about futility. However, anytime you choose, you can access your habitual mind and begin to reprogram it. That's what we're doing. And you can change patterns that may have been useful once, but no longer work for you. And so that is powerful. Not only is it just powerful in all of us, but if anybody's coming out of like serious medical issues, toxic things, trauma, abuse, any of these things, just anything, something that you even notice in life, you want to give up soda or you want to eat more vegetables, whatever it is, you can make the choice from big to small on the spectrum, whatever the thing is you want to reprogram. And you will be able to have access to the habitual mind. You will be able to reprogram it, and then you will change patterns that may have been useful once and that no longer work for you. So a lot of times in those toxic situations, medical issues, trauma, abuse, we actually learn these types of programs that do not serve us. But they at the time they did because they were protecting you. But now it's time to join the excuses be gone paradigm and move towards healthier, higher order values, which you will be able to do easily if you choose that and you give yourself permission. So I just want to encourage you, if you do the work will do you. So now hit like, subscribe, leave your positive comments. I look forward to hearing from you. And it's just such a pleasure to have this time with you. May this reading be bringing you wisdom and helping you. All right, and you know what's next. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace in, peace out.